I'm out here cleaning my shop up today, and I have got to do something with this steel. I'm just going to build a couple of quick, like furniture dollies. You know, everybody's seen a furniture dolly. You can buy them at Harbor Freight and probably Lowe's and Home Depot, but I'm going to make some out of steel, just a quick little welding project. I'm going to be using a flux core welder today, and these are 20, maybe some of them might be 21-foot sticks. That's typically what you get when you go to a steel supply place and not like your Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. You get it in big lengths. But anyways, I don't have a rack. I don't have the wall space for a rack. And I just want to be able to, you know, roll it back and forth. I need to get to, there's a lawnmower that needs a motor over there, and I need to be able to get it out. And I've got all this stuff. It's been in the way for several weeks. So anyways, here we go. Quick welding project, flux core. Let's go over the material. This is just some scrap left over from other projects. Obviously this was sitting outside for a long time. I got some 2x3 by, I want to say 1/8 wall, not 100% sure, maybe a little bit thicker. Got some 1.5 by 1.5 14 gauge, which is a little bit thinner than 1/8 inch. And I love this thing right here. I was on a construction site, and a rep came out from a builder supply company and brought this guy. He brought a couple of these out to give out to the superintendents on the job, and it's awesome. You know, usually I use a speed square or framing square, but I love this thing, especially for anything tube. You know, because I can mark two sides at once. Awesome. Anyways, that's what I'm using. I'm going to be using a Portaband. It's a portable bandsaw. You could use a grinder, you know, metal cut and chop saw. I guess if you wanted to, a torch, you know, plasma cutter, whatever you want. But this is how I'm going to cut this today. So flux core is a lot like stick. You could just burn through this paint. You could burn through this rust. This is definitely nothing structural. I mean, you know, people's lives are not going to depend on the quality of these welds. And this is just like a quick shop project, you know. But anyways, what I do want to do is these sharp edges. I'm going to take a flat disc, you know, and just knock the sharp edges off. Just kind of break the edge, and I probably will knock just a little bit of paint off, simply for the fact that you don't want to breathe this crap. I mean, I don't really care much about getting penetration, because with flux core you will get good penetration through all this, but I just don't want to breathe as much as, you know, I can help breathing. So this is what my dolly is going to look like right here. You can see that I've got the paint knocked off. You know, not super crazy. I just took some of the epoxy off, and it's not, the flux core and stick would burn straight through this. It's more about how much am I going to be breathing of this while I'm welding it. You know, otherwise I would just burn straight through it. Same with the rust. I mean, you could burn through that with stick or flux core. Yeah, obviously you're gonna get a better weld the better that it's prepped. But these are furniture dollies, and you know. But anyways, I just knocked, you know, the rust off of here, and I'm just going to be taking this to try to square it up, get it tacked up. You know, it's a furniture dolly. It really doesn't have to be super square. You know, I definitely don't want it tweaked this way. I don't have a whole lot of faith that my fancy welding table here is super flat, but we'll just, you know, we'll just deal with what we got to deal with. You could use a framing square. You can use a, you know, any kind of square. You can go through magnets and all that. I'm not trying to put that much into it. If you get to watching this and wondering where my nozzle is, you only need the nozzle when you're using gas. For flux core, which is gasless welding, you don't need the nozzle. We got to knock our slag off. That's going to be our first weld. I don't believe I'm going to make any adjustments to it. But there's the first bead. Burned a hole in that one. It's going a little bit slow. You know, I was trying to get some good penetration. I could hear it blow through, but it'll be all right. So on these casters, see, I just burnt straight through the epoxy. I didn't take it off, but I also didn't, got a pretty small spot there. You know, it's not really a tack. It's just a small weld, but man, stick and flux core, you could just blast through anything. I don't really care nothing about knocking the slag off of this because I'm just going to pile steel on it. But I will knock the slag off just to show you a couple of welds. Hopefully this comes out okay. But there's one. I'm just spin this around so that the light will show it. There's a weld. Okay. And I'll flip this over and you can check out the other side here. So flux core is very nasty. Nasty, nasty. Well, I had to put a wire wheel on this. Brush doesn't want to get in there very good, but put this camera back down here so I can really get in there. But anyways, you can see the weld. It's still got a little bit of flux in there. I mean, if I cared enough, I would. I got a wire wheel on an angle grinder, and you can clean this up really good. But I'm not really concerned about it. But yeah, quick little project for the day. There's my dollies. Awesome. Let me get this steel picked up. All right, just got it all picked up. Got a little bit of the leaves and stuff swept up. I'll tell you what, with it cleaned up like this, it doesn't look like very much steel. But there it is, just, well, I say quick. Nothing's quick when you're trying to video, at least for me anyway. I find myself rambling too much and whatever, but you know, anytime you get to weld something, it's cool. It was a beautiful day outside, so man, the weather in here is perfect. This building is not insulated, so it's gonna be cooking in here in a few more weeks. But yeah, this is man, furniture dollies for steel, huh? I will catch you on the next one.